Imagine waking up every day trapped in a body that betrays you, a mind that torments you, a life that feels like an endless cycle of pain. If given the choice between suffering and release, which would you choose? For centuries, philosophers, doctors, and everyday people have debated one of the most controversial questions of all time. Is it better to die than to suffer? The psychological and philosophical perspective. Throughout history, suffering has been seen as both a curse and a lesson. Some argue that suffering builds strength, character, even wisdom, but others believe there's a breaking point where pain outweighs purpose. Shakespeare's Hamlet questioned the very nature of existence. Was it nobler to endure endless hardships, or to seek an end to the pain? Science tells us that prolonged suffering, whether physical or emotional, rewires the brain. Chronic pain reshapes how we think, how we feel, and how we see the world. It strips away joy, purpose, and even the ability to hope. The reality of endless suffering. Now, let's step away from theory and into reality. Imagine living in constant, unbearable pain. No cure, no relief, just waiting. This is the daily life of millions. People suffering from chronic illnesses, trapped in bodies that no longer function. Victims of war, haunted by memories that never fade. Those battling depression, feeling as if they are drowning in their own minds. In these moments, the question isn't just, can I survive? But, should I? Act 3, the ethical and moral dilemma. This is why euthanasia and assisted suicide remain among the most controversial debates of our time. Some argue that choosing death in the face of unbearable suffering is an act of courage, an act of taking control when life no longer offers a way forward. But others believe life is sacred no matter the suffering, that the possibility of change, of hope, of healing always exists, even if we can't see it in the moment. The other side, finding meaning in suffering. Yet, for every person who chooses to leave, there are those who choose to fight. Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl, who endured unspeakable horrors, once said, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost anyhow." Some find strength in suffering, some find purpose in pain. And for them, the answer is clear. Life is worth enduring, no matter the cost. The unanswered question. So we return to the question, is it better to die than to suffer? The truth is, it is better to suffer. Suffering will have an end, and in most cases, a happy end. We live in a world full of challenges, and it is through the difficulties and suffering that we get to grow. If you're struggling, know this, you are not alone. Your pain is real, but so is the possibility of healing, of connection, of change. Always remember that in the darkest nights, a new dawn always comes.